Rob Reynolds is there for us at the Lewis McChord military base near Tacoma in Washington state. So what else did he say there, Rob?
Well, there was a lot of apologizing. He just said he was very, very sorry over and over again, and said he wished that he could take it back, but of course he can't. He apologized to the families of the people that he murdered. He admitted that he murdered them. He apologized to his own family, saying he disgraced them, and he really got a bit choked up during a point at which he apologized to the Army for bringing some disgrace upon it. But he also talked about the events leading up to the massacre on March 11th of 2012. 4 tours of duty, 3 in Iraq, 1 in Afghanistan. He saw comrades in arms blown apart by improvised explosive devices. He saw combat in all of its forms. He said he felt over the years a mounting sense of anger and frustration, not directed at anything in particular, but simply an all-overwhelming sense of rage, which broke out in odd moments, even when he was on home leave. He also talked about how he began drinking heavily, he took sleeping aids, and on the night of the massacre, he was also using steroid drugs. This case is going to go to a military jury tomorrow. The defense said it was not prepared to make its closing arguments yet, but that will happen tomorrow. The prosecution will also speak, and then it will be up to a jury of 6 officers to decide whether Sergeant Robert Bales spends the rest of his life in prison or whether he might get the possibility of parole. And according to military rules, if there is the possibility of parole, the earliest that he could be released would be after 20 years behind bars.
You know, there's a detail in this case that caught my attention, Rob. We're told that Robert Bales returned to his base in the middle of his killing spree, told a soldier what he had done, and went out and resumed. Any clarification there? Why wasn't he restrained?
This was a forward operating base with a fairly small number of soldiers there, so it wasn't like this kind of massive army base that I'm standing on. He apparently did go back, told one of his fellow soldiers what he'd done. The soldier thought he was joking or didn't believe him, and then Bales went out again. And of course the prosecution has used this to indicate that his actions were not impulsive, but rather were thought out in advance. But no, there wasn't any clarification on why he wasn't apprehended at that point.
All right, thanks so much, Rob Reynolds there.